Hello friends, how are you? This is Pom and welcome back to the channel Safety with Pom. And thank you so much for your support. Thanks for watching. And as you know that today video topics it's about the ISO documentation that we want to follow as per the ISO standard requirements to comply with that requirements. And during the audit, if we have to avoid any NCR, any observations, so that's why we have to follow the documentation. Before starting this video, I would like to request you please to like the videos, share the video, and subscribe the channel if you haven't subscribed the channel. And please comment in the comment section and let me know which part of the world you are watching my video, and let me know how you find this video, the information which I'm providing you, whether it is good, whether I need some improvements and some other things that you required from my side. So let's start this video about the ISO documentation requirements. So in this, we will start. So today video topic is about the ISO 9001, the documents that we required as per the standard requirements. As you know that if you are working in a health as a health and safety professional or the quality professional maintaining the quality as per the ISO 9001 requirements, you know very well that there are certain documents that you have to follow to comply with the requirements. There could be the compliance related to the internal requirements. There could be the compliance related to the ISO 9001 standard requirements. So as per that, you have to follow the documentation. So I have some personal experience related to the safety officers or safety professional who are not at the supervisor level, who is not at the managerial level, who is at the they are at the starting points or they have 3 or 4 years of experience. So I have come across that during the interview also that these professionals do not have very good understanding about the documentation. They are very well aware about the field requirements that we have to follow, but there is a lack of information about the documentation requirements, like how to prepare the SOPs, the documentation that we need as per the standard requirements. So that's why I'm going to start this video. That's why I have prepared this training module to make you understand and to make sure that every health and safety professional is aware about the documentation requirements. Okay, so there could be certain reasons that you are not aware about the documentation and the SOPs and the manuals requirements and how to create them, but you have to be very well aware about these requirements also, and you have to start to work in that phase also if you have to progress in your career. So let's start this video about the documentation requirements. So clause wise required and common documents under 9001 2015. As you know that the latest ISO 9001 standard we are still using is 2015. As I told you that it is going to be a change very soon, later on, next 1 year or 2 year. There will be some new changes will come and new standard will come for the ISO 9001. It could be uh, 2026. So next year there is a one new version will come. I will provide that information in my next video also. So what are the changes will come in ISO 9001? So that changes could be there. So there are common types of documents that we have to follow as per the ISO 9001 requirements. The first one is the policy. Okay, the policy, it is a high level of statements of intent and direction by the top management. As you know that it is the commitment. The policy is a commitment by the top management of the company. Then we have the manual. ISO 9001 standard requires that there should be a quality manual that is specify the requirements about the clause number 4 to 10. Okay, there are total 7 main clauses. Those 7 main clauses should be included in the manual. Then we have the processor. Under the processor we have the standard operating procedures, specified ways to carry out an activity or process, how you are carrying out an activity as per the ISO 9001 requirements. So those activities will comes under the SOPs. Then we have the work instructions. So how you have to do a certain type of work. So that work instructions will come under the work instruction documents, detailed steps for performing a specific task. Then we have the forms formats that we use, like calibration formats, like inspection formats. So those formats will come under there. Then we have the records, documents stating results achieved or providing evidence of activities performed. Once you do the activity, let's say that you did the calibration, internal calibration done by using the formats. Once you use that format, you did the internal calibration, that format will becomes automatically the records. Then we have the plans, documents outlining how specific activities or process will be carried out. Example, quality plan, audit plan. So that thing also will come under the plans. Then we have the specification, detailed requirements for product, services or process. So the specification also it is required for the product. If you are producing any product and you are maintaining the quality of that product, so you have to specify the product also. Let's say that I am preparing a food which is called, let's say that milk. Okay, milk. I'm preparing it and I'm packing it milk, fresh milk in a container. So that specification should be there as a documentation. What is the specification? The detailed requirement of the products, like how it is product, it is cold product, it is solid or liquid products. Okay, what is the temperature requirement of that product? How it should be sold, this product, whether it is required the room temperature or chill temperature, what should be the temperature, who can consume that product, okay, whether it is safe for the infant children's or not, whether it is safe for the old people or not, and how it is processed. Okay, so all these things should come under the specification of that particular product. So this is just only the example of the one product. Now the another example could be the water bottle you are supplying. Maybe you are producing a car, maybe you are producing any kind of product, so that specification will come under that. Then we have the organizational charts. Organizational chart, it is the visual representation of the structure of the organization, including roles, responsibilities, and authorities. So you should maintain an organization chart also. It is a requirement of ISO 9001. So these are the common types of documents that you have to follow. Now I will start the clause wise, that documents that you require to fulfill the clause requirements. Okay, I may miss some type of documents that you have to follow also, because I'm also a human being. Okay, so if I missed any documents, do let me know in the comment section so I can include that in the next video also. Sorry. So context of the organization, the first clause number 4. Under this one, understanding the organization and its context. So this clause requires the organization shall determine internal external issues that are relevant to its purpose and its strategic direction that affects the ability to achieve the intended results of the quality management system. Okay, so how you will achieve this requirement? So you will create a manual. Okay, manual you have to prepare for the ISO 9001. Under that manual, you have to include the internal and the external issues that will affect your organization. What is the external issues? External issues could be the government policies, the VAT, okay, the shipment related thing, the logistic related thing. That is the external thing where you don't have any control. What is the internal issues that will impact your product or your business? The impact of the internal issues, it could be the competent person. Okay, the person that you are getting from the different culture. Okay, their culture, their salary issues. Okay, that some training issues, the hiring issues, and certain other things could be there, or the language barrier also could be there. So these are the internal and external issues that you have to identify. Okay, the finance issue, IT, and certain other things that you have to identify as per your organizations that has the internal and external issues. Once you identify these issues, you have to include all these issues under the manual. Okay, in the manual you have to create a column. In that one, you have to one side put the external issues, and the other side you have to include the internal issues. So in that way, you have to keep line by line. All these things will come. So the organization shall monitor and review information about these internal and external issues. Also, these issues should be reviewed also periodically, because the issues will change. Okay, so like I'm in UAE, before 2018 there was no VAT, and after 2018 VAT was included in the business. okay, in the UAE. So that's why if I will not review my documents after the 2018, so the VAT will not be included in my external issues. So that's why I have to review my documents, my internal and external issues as per the changes. So note one issues can include positive and negative factors or conditions or consideration that you can check. Okay, understanding the external context can be facilitated by considering issues arising from the, as I told you, that legal external issues could be the legal, technological, competitive market, cultural, social, economic environments, whether international or national or regional or local. So these things you have to check. Now, understanding the needs and expectations of interested parties. So, clause number 4.2, how you will achieve. Do you have to prepare a documents? Yes. So, under the manual itself, you have to include the interested parties, okay, and once you identify your interested parties, okay, in a format, you have to identify your interested parties could be your employees, it could be your it could be government body for the external one. So the internal, your employees, your board of directors, your uh, board of directors, supply, these things would be there. The second party one or the external one could be the supplier, could be the certification bodies, could be the what you call government bodies. Okay, so these are your external parties. So when you are identifying the interested parties, you have to check for the internal interested parties and the external interested parties. So once you identify these interested parties, you have to list down them, and you have to line one by one, you have to identify the needs and expectation. What is their needs? Okay, supplier, what is the supplier needs? You are using one of the supplier, I'm giving you one example. So you are using one of the supplier, what is their needs? Their needs is there. So what is your needs and what is their expectation, that you have to identify. Needs could be there, you are releasing the payments on time, okay, and getting the proper or the actual price, okay, whatever product they are supplying to you. So that is their needs and expectations. So in that way, you have to identify the needs and expectations, and these all needs and expectation you can maintain in the manual itself. If you want to keep separate documents, it's up to you, but I would suggest you put in the manual. So clause wise, all these things would be there in a one document. So when you are identifying the interested parties' needs and expectation due to their effect or potential effect of the organization's ability to consistently provide products and services, meet customer and applicable statutory and regulatory requirements in the organization shall determine. Okay, the interested parties that are relevant to the quality management system, that you have to identify the requirements of these interested parties that are relevant to the quality management system. So again, the organization shall, okay, monitor and review information about these interested parties and their relevant requirements. So it is the requirements that you have to review. Now, the clause number 4.3, determining the scope of the quality management system. So you have to determine the scope of the quality management system 4.3 as per that requirement. So what you will do in this one? So itself in the manual, you have to identify the scope of your business. Okay, you will write down a scope, and under that scope, you will say that uh, like your business name, my ABC company scope is there to supply this product and this thing, and this is the scope of the business. So one line sentence or only could be there. You don't have to write very long sentences. Only one line sentence will fulfill this requirement, the scope of the quality management system. Okay, so that you have to put there. The organization shall determine the boundaries and applicability of the management system to establish its scope. Okay, when determining this scope, organization shall consider, whenever you are determining the scope of the business, you have to consider interested parties, internal and external issues, and the product and services of the organization that you are delivering. So the organization shall apply the requirements of this international standard if they are applicable within the determined scope of its quality management system. Okay, I hope it is okay for you. Okay, so in this way you can comply with the clause number 4.3 requirement. Now the quality management system and its process, clause number 4.4. So how you can comply with this? You can listed down all these requirements in itself in the manual. You don't have to prepare separate documents. So itself in the manual you can include these informations, quality management system and its process for your businesses. So it is saying that the organization shall establish, implement and maintain the continually improve quality management system, including the process need and the interactions in accordance with the requirements of the international standards. Shall determine the process needed to the quality management system and their application throughout the organization and shell. Okay, so these are the requirements that you can take itself from the standards and that you can put it in your manual. Okay, and these requirements should be aligned with your company or your organization's requirements. Okay, but do not just copy and paste, but should align with your company requirements. Okay, so there is one more requirement that to extent necessary, the organization shall maintain documented information to support the operation and its process. Documented information is required. Only words will not be enough. Retain documented information to have confidence that the process are being carried out as planned. So documented information you should maintain. So you should maintain a manual. It is a requirement of the ISO 9001 standards. Okay, and during the audit, the auditors, external certification bodies, they can check this one. Now the clause number 5, the leadership. So it's talk about the leadership. So leadership itself you can maintain in manual. When you are maintaining the clause number 5, you can go to the leadership. So leadership and commitment. So the top management shall demonstrate leadership and commitment with respect to the quality management system by taking accountability for the effectiveness and the management system, ensuring that the quality policy and the objectives are established. So these are the requirements for the leadership team. Okay, A to J. So how you will make sure that the leadership team, they are complying with these requirements. Okay, how you will make sure that. So the very simple and effective idea is the JD. JD for each position. Okay, job description. So create a job description for top to bottom, and top to bottom has a different kinds of roles and responsibilities, and make sure these roles and responsibilities are included in their job description. Okay, simply just copy and paste on that one, so you will comply with these requirements. Okay, one of the section that you can do. And as per the roles and their designation, you can change, or you can change these requirements. If it is the top management, all these things they have to follow up. If it is like the cleaner, they have to follow the quality policy. If there is any issues related to the quality, they need to report it. So certain things that you have to change as per the JD and the designation. I hope it is clear. Leadership and commitment. The JD can be fulfill this requirement. Now, 5.1.2, the customer focus. The top management shall demonstrate leadership and commitment with respect to customer focus by ensuring that customer and applicable statutory and regulatory requirements are determined, understood, and consistently met. So, itself in the JD. So, when you are preparing their job descriptions, so in those job description, you can maintain that the person will fulfill the requirements or review the requirements of uh, customer requirements, legal requirements, and certain other requirements that will be reviewed or checked by the certain persons. After then, the policy. Okay. So what you have to do, you have to maintain a separate policy. Okay, a separate document, one page document it is. Okay, and as you know that if you are aware about the policy, the quality management system policy, it is a statement from the top management that the company or the organization will maintain the quality of the product, and they will take certain steps and maintain the regulatory requirements and the customer requirements. And in the quality policy, when you are preparing a quality policy, do not just copy paste from the Google. Create a separate policy for your organization which is aligned with your organization goals, okay, and the values, okay, and the vision of your organizations. So when you will put these goals, value, and vision of your organization in the quality policy, it looks very good. Okay, and when the auditor will audit, they will they will create what you call they can see that it is aligning with your organizational requirements. They will understand that you haven't just copy and paste. So a good impression will be created by yourself, by you. Okay. So establish the quality policy. The top management shall establish, implement, and maintain a quality policy. So it is the top management requirements. Okay, from the top, the CEO, MD, or the directors, they have to do this thing. And whenever you are preparing a quality policy, it should be appropriate to the purpose, context of the organization, and support its direction. Provides a framework setting quality objectives. So whenever you are preparing the quality policy, you can include the quality objectives also. Two, three good objectives that you have set for the business, you can copy and you can put in the quality policy. Includes a commitment to satisfy applicable requirements. Includes a commitment to continual improvement of the quality management system. So whenever you are preparing any quality policy, make sure these things are included there, A to D. If you are not missing any one of these things, okay, A to D, then there will be an NCR. Auditor has the full right to raise an NCR against you. Okay, so these things you have to put in the policy. After then, the communication of the policy. What is the requirements? So here, what you have to do, you have to maintain the communication record. How you can maintain the communication record? It could be TBT, it could be safety notice board, it could be through the email, it could be through the WhatsApp, it could be on the website where each and everyone has the access. Okay, so communication could be the internal communication and the external communications. So both you have to maintain. So the record of communication of the policy you have to maintain. The quality policy shall, it should be available and be maintained at documented information. Okay, documented information should be there. It should be communicated, it should be understood and applied within the organization. So it should be understood by the employee also. It is not only that you pasted in the notice board but you didn't communicate them properly. They don't know what is quality policy. So you have to make sure that you are trained them properly and they are aware about it. And it should be available to relevant interested parties also. So as you know that clause number 4, you identify the interested parties, and these should be communicated to the interested parties, your legal bodies, your suppliers, your certification bodies, all should be communicated. Now, the organization roles and responsibilities and authorities. So, for this one, again, what you have to do is you have to create a JD, which you created already in the 5.1. So, in that one, you have to put their roles, their responsibilities, and their authorities also. Okay. So, I have during the audit, I have come to know that, whenever I am checking the JD, there is no authorities. The people simply say that if the person is working as a cleaner or as a what you call non-supervisor level of a staff, what authorities they have, what they can do on that one, or if the supervisor, what kind of authorities you can give them. The people are not authorized to do take any action or any what you call anything they can't do. So these things should be avoided. The clause simply says that the organization roles, responsibilities, and authorities should be given to the particular staff. Now, let's understand this one. How? The top management shall ensure that the responsibilities and authorities for relevant roles are assigned, communicated, and understood within the organization. So, you have to prepare a JD. It should be communicated with each and everyone, and it should be understood by them, and it should be acknowledged by them. Okay. The top management shall assign the responsibility and authority for ensuring that the quality management system conforms to the requirements of these international standards. Okay. Then ensuring that the process are delivering their intended outputs, reporting on the performance of the quality management system and on opportunities for improvement, in particular leads to top management, ensuring the promotion of customer focus throughout the organization, and ensuring that the integrity of quality management system is maintained. So these are the authorities should be given to the staff. So the quality management system, it's not asking you to take the give the authorities to take the action on the financial or changing the roles and responsibilities and other thing. So the authority should be given to each and every staff that if you observe any quality related thing, you are authorized to report that thing. Okay. If you come to know that any opportunity which can improve the quality of the product, you are authorized to report it. Okay. If you come to know any hazard related to the quality, you are authorized to stop that work. So these kind of very simple and generic authorities should be given to each and everyone. Even the cleaner has the authorize to stop the work if that particular product can cause the company reputation to defame. A company reputation can go down particular things. So even the cleaner has the authority to report it or the stop the work. So these type of things should given these type of authorities should be given to each and every person. That is the requirement of the 5.3 clause number 5.3. Okay, organization role, responsibilities, and authorities that we have to check. Then we have the planning clause number 6. Action to address risk and opportunities. So what are the documents that you need here? So action to address risk and opportunities 6.1. So it is addressed to give assurance that the quality management system can achieve intended results, enhance desirable effects, prevent or reduce undesired effects, achieve improvements. Okay, so this is the requirement here. The organization shall plan action to address these risks and opportunities. So risk assessment is required for the quality. Okay, not only the risk, those risk has the opportunities also. Okay, so separate risk assessment, risk and opportunity documents that you have to maintain. How to integrate and implement the actions into quality management system process and evaluate the effectiveness of these actions. So that you have to prepare. Okay, so the risk assessment is required for the clause number 6.1.2. So that is the requirement. Quality objectives and the planning to achieve them. Now, clause number 6.2, how you can fulfill this requirement. So you have to prepare the objectives, a separate documents that you have to prepare, which you will where you will include the quality related objectives for your business. The quality related objectives could be the zero NCR or reducing the customer complaints by uh, by 2025. Last year was 10, so 2025 you will reduce by 5 or 6 or 2 or 1. So that is your objectives. Okay, so that you have to plan the objectives, and whenever you are planning the objective, that should be consistent with the quality policy. Okay, you can check the quality policy. If it is if you have put the some objectives in the quality policy, those objectives should align with these here. Be measurable. Okay, you know the objective should be the smart. Okay, okay, so your objective should be smart, so measurable, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time scale. So all these things you have to check. Then when planning how to achieve its quality objective, the organization shall determine, you have to determine that what will be done. Now once you set your objectives, then after then you have to plan, you have to make a plan. Okay, to achieve the objective. Example, your one of the objective is to reduce the customer complaints. Last year you had 10. This year you have the uh, target that 8 customer complaint, reducing by 2. Now those 8 customer complaint, reducing 2 customer complaint, how you will achieve that one? Okay, you will go back and you will check your 10 customer complaint which you investigated. What is the major requirement over there? Maybe the training was one of the reason. So first thing, in the planning section, what you will do: one, we will train the staff, 100% training of the staff on quality related things. Second thing, physical, what you call physical contamination. Maybe there was a physical contamination in the product. How you will remove the physical contamination in the product? Maybe the X-rays, maybe the magnetic thing. Okay, metal detectors. So many things that you can include. Third thing, uh, insufficient staff. Maybe due to the insufficient staff, there was a customer complaint was more. Maybe there was no tracing or certain other things is there. So line wise, you will put that thing in the planning that you will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These 10 things you will do to reduce these 2 customer complaint. Now, once you will put these 10 things, who is responsible for each and every one thing? Maybe for the training, health and safety professional or the quality professional is responsible. Maybe buying the metal detector or the X-ray, it is the operational manager requirements. So you have to put that one. Now, once you will put the authorized person or the person who has to take the action, what is the timeline when you are planning to achieve them? Okay, so that you have to put there. So that you have to put in the planning, and you have to check one by one. So in that way, you can achieve this target. And in this way, you have to prepare the plan, and that you have to show during the audit also. Now, planning of changes. When the organization determines the need for changes, the quality management system, the changes shall be carried out and in a planned manner. The organization shall consider the purpose of the changes and their potential consequences, the integrity of the quality management system, the availability of resources, the allocation or relocation of responsibilities and authorities. We do some changes in the process also as per the quality requirements or as per the what you call business requirement, or maybe some new equipments will come inside the business to improve the process also. So you cannot just simply bring a new equipment inside the factory or inside the manufacturing unit and you can start the process. Okay, before starting to the process or before bringing the new machine in the company, you have to do the planning of changes, how you will maintain the changes. Okay, the purpose of the changes, what is the purpose of that changes and that potential consequences, what is the consequences. Okay, what could be the negative thing, what could be the positive thing, the positive thing will what it will do the employee. Then the integrity of the quality management system, how it will impact the quality management system, your ISO requirements, availability of resources, do you have the proper resources to achieve or the maintain the quality management system, allocation relocation of responsibility, is there proper what you call competent person or the authorized persons are there who can manage these changes or not. Okay, so how you will achieve these requirements as the documentation, what documents you have to follow. Simply the planning of changes, how you will do the planning of changes, if there is any planning or if there is any changes is there in the system or the business, simply you have to put in your manual. Okay, clause number 6.3, planning of changes. ABC company will do the maintain the planning of changes or control the planning of changes in the certain ways, and we will do these type of things. We will communicate the things. We will communicate the employees. We will communicate the top management, and the risk assessment will be carried out before any changes, and that will be communicated, and certain other things that will be done. So in this one, you have to maintain a format also that you have to use during the planning of changes. Okay, and planning of changes, how you will do that, you have to include in the manual. So in this way you can comply with the requirements of 6.3. Now the clause number 7, the clause number 7, it says about the resources that you need for the process. The general, the organization shall determine the provide the resources needed for establishment. So you can include these things under the manual also, under the resources. Okay, under the resources, what kind of resources you will provide, the training, competent persons, equipments, training room. Okay, what are the resources as per your business requirement, those resources you can categorize. Then the resources, under the resources it could be the people, if you will provide the people, what kind of people you will provide, competent people, how you will get it them. Then the infrastructure, that is also will come under the resources. Environment for the operation process. The organization shall determine, provide, maintain the environment necessary to the operation of its achieve the conformity of product services. So environment of the operation process. Now you are maintaining some of the product that the environment or the air can contaminate that certain kind of product. So how you will make sure that the environment which you are providing, it will keep your product safe. So that thing you have to identify first, and after that a suitable environment can be combination of human and physical factors. Okay, so the social, non-discriminatory, calm and non-confrontal, psychological, stress reducing, burnout prevention, emotionally protective, and physical, temperature, heat, humidity, light, airflow, hygiene and noise. So when you are identifying the environment requirements, and then you have to take care of social, psychological and the physical. Okay, the social, during the hiring process, HR has to take care on this one. Okay, then the psychological, stress reducing, burnout prevention. So it is a combined work by the health and safety, quality, HR, operation manager, production manager, everyone has to come out here and they have to take care of this one. Then the physical, the temperature, heat, humidity, so this one you have to take care with the facility management person. Okay, and sometimes you have to go for the external testing also. Okay, third party people, they should come inside and they should do the airflow testing. Okay, humidity, light, hygiene. Okay, and the noise testing should be done also. So these are the requirements that you have to follow. So for this thing, you have to maintain the third party certification, okay, with the help of the FM. And the psychological stress reducing, you have to take care with the operation manager, and the HR documentation should be there, and those HR documentation that you have to use to comply with this requirement. Second point, we have monitoring and measuring resources. So whatever the resources you have, how you gonna monitor them? Let's say that you have the resources of calibration, like the resources of thermometer. So that thermometer you are using to measure the temperature. How you are monitoring them, okay, and how you are measuring them. So organization should determine the provide resources need to ensure the valid and reliable results. The organization should ensure that resources provided are suitable. Specific type monitoring measurement activities are undertaken and maintained to ensure their continuing fitness and their purpose. So what you can do, you have to go the external calibration, third party calibration that you can do annually, and internally you can do the internal calibration monthly. So that is the requirements. So here you have to maintain the records of internal and external calibration for the 7.1.51 for monitoring and measuring resources. Then the measurement traceability. So calibrated or verified both specified intervals. So how you will trace them? So you have to trace them same by using the records. Okay, calibration record that you can use to trace them. Then the organization knowledge. The organization shall determine the knowledge necessary for the operation of its process. So in this one, what they will do, they will check their job description, and they can interview with the staff. So here what you need to do, you have to maintain the training record of the staff, okay, and you have to make sure that they are aware about the requirements. So training records is required for the 7.1.6, okay. Then the competence. Organization shall maintain the competency matrix, okay. Now, how you will achieve this one? So you have to maintain the competency matrix for the each and every department or for each and every person. The competency matrix. What is the competency is required for the each person? The job wise, what competency you are checking before you are hiring a person. So here, for 7.2, you have to maintain the competency matrix. Okay. In that competency matrix, each and every person job description and their competency. Like let's say that director, what is the competency of the director? Certain director is has done the master degree, bachelor degree, and these kind of trainings, these 20 years of experience. So these things. So when we are saying the competency is the combination of the knowledge, okay, experience, and the training that they are taking. Then the awareness. The organization shall ensure the person doing work under the organization control are aware of the quality policy. Okay. So again, you have to do the training. Okay. And for this one, 7.3, you have to maintain the training record. And the same thing can be verified by the auditor during the audit, and they can interview with the staff, and they should be aware about the relevant quality objectives, legal requirements, their job description, implication of not conforming with the quality management system requirements, what can happen. Okay. Then the next one is the communication. The communication, what you have to do, you have to maintain the SOP. Okay. Communication. In the communication, there could be the internal communication and the external communication. Okay. So both the communication you have to include in the SOP. If it is internal communication, what are the things that you're going to communicate with the staff? On what will be communicated? What will be communicated in the internal and the external? When to communicate? When will you communicate it? What is the what you call frequency of communication, internal and external? With whom will you communicate? Okay, staff members, external suppliers, license body. Okay, how will you communicate? What is the channel of communication? TVT, email, WhatsApp. What is there? Who communicates? Who is authorized to communicate? Everyone will communicate, or only the safety personnel will communicate. All these requirements that you have to include in this SOP. Okay, so it is the requirements of 7.4 communication. Then we have the documented information. For this thing also you can maintain the SOP. The documented information organization quality management system shall include documented information required by the international standard. Sorry. So as per the clause number 5 7.5, you have to maintain the documented information. So when you are maintaining the documented information, you have to prepare a SOP. uh, SOP. So when you are preparing the SOP, you have to include that how you will create and update the documents. When you are creating the updating the documents, identification and the description of the document, example title, date, who is the author of the document, reference number of the document, so should be there. And you are not allowed to use any document without the document control number. Okay, if you are using any documents inside the organization without document control number, then it could be could lead to a NCR. What is the format of the document? The language, software that you will use, graphics, and the media, whether you will use the paper or the electronic or the soft copy, that you have to include. Then, when you will review your document, who is the approver of the documents? That also you have to include. What is the review frequency? 1 year, 2 year, or 3 years? So that you also you have to put in the SOP. Control of documented information. Who is responsible to control the documented information? That also you have to put. Then you have to maintain a separate folder where only a one designated person is has the access of the documents. Okay, that you have to maintain. To control the documented information, these things we have to make sure and should be included in the SOP also. Distribution, access, retrieval, and use. Who has the access? Storage prevention, storage preservation, including preservation of legibility. That also you have to include in the SOP. Control of change. Who is authorized to control of change, and the retention and disposition. For the retention period, you have to prepare a separate format. In that separate format, document retention period that you have to maintain. Okay, in that document retention period, one side in one Excel sheet you have to put the format, one Excel sheet you have to put the SOP, one Excel sheet you have to put the work instruction, one Excel sheet you have to put the policy, one Excel sheet you have to put the manual. So all of these you have to put it there, and the retention period you have to put for each and every document. What is the retention period for the format number this one? What is the retention period of this record? How many years you will keep it? Okay, all these things you have to put there. Now the operation. So clause number 8 is include the operational planning and control. It is typically depend on your operation, what kind of operation you are. Okay, whether you are manufacturing the car, whether you are manufacturing the water bottle, whether you are manufacturing the milk, okay, milk bottles, whether you are manufacturing the cream powder. So what is your business purpose? So as per that one, you have to prepare a operation related document. Okay, operation planning and control, requirements, product and services related things that you have to check. Customer communication, how you will communicate with the customer. Then determine the requirements of products and services. So what kind of product and services that you're going to deliver. Review of the requirements of product and service. So what kind of service and the product that you are delivering, that you have to review also. Change to requirements and product and services. Okay, development and product and services, design and development. If you are doing any design and development, let's say that you are designing a car and you are developing a car, then this clause is applicable to you and should be included in your manual. Okay, these things you will include in the manual. But if you are not doing any design and development in any business, then it is not applicable to you. Let's say that you are a catering company or you are a hotel, then this clause 8.3 design and development is not applicable to you, because you are not going to design a food product. Okay, you are not selling a food product to outside in a package format. Okay, packet format, so it is not applicable to you. And let's say that you are a facility management company, then it is not applicable to you. You are a construction company where you are not doing any design and development, so it is not applicable to you also. Control and externally provided process, product and services. If you are getting any product and services which is provided by externally, so how you going to control them? Type and extent of control. Information for external providers. Okay, that thing you have to check. Production and service provision, control of production and service provision. So all these things you have to check and you have to include in the manual. Okay, for this you have to maintain a manual. So same manual, quality manual, you have to include these information. For clause number 8. Now the performance evaluation. So what kind of documents you have to maintain? So the performance evaluation says the same thing you have to put in the manual, how you will evaluate your performance. The monitoring, measurement, and analysis and evaluation. You can in this one there you have two options. Okay, manual, or you can create a SOP also. Okay, monitoring, measurement, and analysis and evaluation. What needs to be monitored, that you have to include either in manual or SOP. The methods of monitoring, measurement, analysis, and evaluation that required. How you going to monitor, how you going to measure, how you going to analysis and evaluation. Like air monitoring, how you will do external, internal. Calibration, how you will do internal, external. What kind of laboratory you will use. So that requirements that you have to include here. Then we have when the monitoring and measurement shall be performed. What is the frequency? That frequency also you have to include in your SOP or manual. When the results from the monitoring and measurement shall be analyzed and evaluated. When you're going to analyze and evaluate them. So that you have to check. Then we have the customer satisfaction. The organization shall monitor customer perception, the degree to which their needs and expectations have been fulfilled. So, how you will comply with this requirement, customer satisfaction? So, simply what you have to do is you have to do the customer survey. Okay, customer feedback survey you have to do at least once in a year, and once you receive their result, you have to analyze their answers. If they need any expectation, so that you have to action on that one and need to be communicated with the customer. So here feedback survey is required to comply with the clause number 9.1.2. Okay. Analysis and evaluation 9.1.3. The organization shall analyze, evaluate appropriate data information arising from monitoring and measurement. After the monitoring and measurement, whatever the data is coming, the result shall be evaluated to conformity the product and services. You have to check these things. That should be conformity with the product and service, the degree of customer satisfaction, how satisfied is the customer after receiving the feedback, the performance of effectiveness of the quality management system, planning has been implemented effectively or not, the effectiveness of actions taken to address risk and opportunities, the performance of external providers. How you will check this one? Supplier audit. Okay, the performance of external providers, you can do the supplier audit every year, at least once every year, or the quarterly or biannually, that you can do. The need for improvement and for the quality management system, if you have identified. Now the 9.2 internal audit. So in this one you can prepare the SOP or you can use the manual itself. So the organization shall conduct internal audit at planned intervals. So in the SOP, you have to include what is the planned intervals, how frequently you will conduct the audit, whether it is annually, okay, uh, every quarter or 6 months. That plan you have to put in the SOP interval. Why you need to conduct the audit? To confirm that the organization's own requirements for a quality management system, the requirements of this international standards. Okay, and the organization shall plan, establish, implement, maintain the audit program. So in the SOP you have to maintain the audit program, the frequency, okay, how frequently, method, how you will conduct the audit, online, offline, who is the responsible to conduct the audit, planning requirements, reporting, how you will report, what is the audit plan, which shall take into consideration to the importance of the process concerned, changes affecting the organization, and the results of previous audits. So this thing you have to check. Then define the audit criteria when you are conducting the audit. Okay, for the audit plan that you have to do. Select auditors and conduct audits to ensure objectivity and the impartiality of the audit process. So how to conduct the audit? I have clearly told you in ISO 9001 lead auditor training, and I have already prepared for the ISO 19011 auditing management system. So how you have to do the audit, everything is there. So just go to my channel. In this channel list, there is a ISO playing list is there. In that ISO playing list, all the ISO documents you will get it there. Ensure that the results audits are reported to relevant management. So it should be reported also, and take appropriate corrective actions. Okay, all these things should be included in your SOP. It is the requirement. Now the clause number 9.3, management review, how you will do. So management review, you have to conduct a meeting. You have to maintain the documents of minutes of meeting, and that should be communicated also. Communication record also should be there. That should be checked by the auditor. So here minutes of meeting required. Okay. and the communication also. The management shall review the organization quality management system at planned intervals. So in this one also management review how you will do. Then you have to prepare a SOP, or in the manual itself, quality management manual, you can include the intervals. So whenever you are doing the management review meetings, so there is an agenda called agenda. So when you are setting the agenda, I will suggest you just copy and paste these agenda in your meeting. Okay, these also just include them, just copy and paste. Minimum, these are the minimum requirements should be included in the management review meeting. Inputs should be there. Okay, should be included. Insights should come. Okay, if you miss any one of these, then it can lead to the NCR. So I would suggest you just copy from here and paste in the agenda minutes of meeting. Apart from these, if you have any other things, that is well and good that you can include, but never miss these things. Okay, never miss. Otherwise, you will receive INCR. Then, after that, the outputs. What is the output of these inputs which you included? Okay, you will give these inputs. Now, what is the output? The outputs of the management review shall include decisions and the actions related to. So once you inform some information to the management, what they said, what is the output, what is the action need to be taken. So that is the output of the meeting. Opportunity for improvement. Okay, after the meeting, any need changes to quality management system that required, resources required. Okay, all these things should be come under the outputs. That is for the clause number 9. Now we have the clause number 10, which is called the improvement. So it says that the organization shall determine and select opportunities for improvement and implement any necessary actions to meet the customer requirements and enhance customer satisfaction. So these things you are achieving in different ways, but clause number 10 you can put it in the manual how you will do these things. So you will comply with these requirements. So it can be include the improving products, services to meet requirements as well as to address future needs and expectations. Corrective preventive actions, preventing or reducing undesired effects, and improving the performance and effectiveness of quality management system. So it is the requirement. Then the non-conformity and corrective actions. So non-conformity and corrective actions, if there is any NCR, non-conformity, supplier related or other things, how you gonna check that one? So I would suggest you for to deal with the non-conformity and corrective action, I would suggest you to maintain a SOP. Okay, so and there should be a format reporting of non-conformity NCR. So when non-conformity occurs, including arising from complaints, organization shall react to the non-conformity and as applicable. So when you are preparing a SOP, include all these things in your SOP. Make sure all these things are included in your SOP, so you will comply with these requirements and you have to follow. Okay, review, analysis, evaluate, implement any action needed, review effectiveness, update risk and opportunity registers. All these things should be included in your SOP. After then, the organization shall retain documented information as evidence of. So this SOP, as I told you that maintain a SOP. So itself it is a documented information that you have to show to the auditors during the audit. The nature of the non-conformities or any subsequent actions taken. So SOP is there, but how you will deal with the SOP, how you will deal with the NCR, your SOP will tell. But when the SOP will come, you should have a format. In that format, your corrective action, your investigation, everything should be there, and it will be asked by the auditor during the audit. So that you have to check. Then we have the continual improvement. How you will do the continual improvement, that you have to include in the manual itself. Okay, quality manual. The organization shall continually improve the suitability, efficacy, and the effectiveness of the quality management system. Your quality management system should be suitable with the company requirement. It should be adequate and it should be effective to meet the quality related requirement. The organization shall consider the results of analysis, okay, evaluation, and the outputs from the management review to determine if there needs or opportunity that shall be addressed as part of continual improvement. Okay, so all these things that you have to include in the manual. So that's all from my side. The ISO 9001 documentation that you required. I hope I have covered everything, but if I have missed any information or any documents that we have to follow, please do let me know in the comment section, and I will answer in my next video. So thank you for your support. Thank you for your time. Please do not forget to subscribe the channel and like the video, and please share the video also, and do comment also in the comment section. So see you in the next video. Thank you so much.